myself, Cheryl, who's outside there on the phone, and Alexis, we work for something called Together an Active Future, which is one of 12 local delivery pilots around the country. So we're funded by Sport England. Now, myself and Cheryl don't work full time for Together an Active Future or TAF. We're seconded from Burnley Leisure and Culture for half of our working week to work on TAF, Together an Active Future. And Together an Active Future is a Pennine, Lancashire initiative, really, over a space of around about 5 years. So it runs till at least 2025. So in each district within Pennine, Lancashire, there's people like us three seconded from other organisations, and that would either be the council or a leisure trust or something similar to work on Together an Active Future. And over the last few years, we started around 2018, 2019. This group of people has grown, so there's quite a few people around Pennine, Lancashire employed through Together an Active Future. So in terms of what we're trying to do, each district has its own priorities, but basically we're trying to find out ways of encouraging people or helping people to be more active. It's quite simple. Although when you think about it, that problem, people in this industry have been trying to tackle that problem for years and years. So what Together an Active Future definitely isn't, it's not a project. It may contain smaller projects within it, but it's certainly not a project. So what we're trying to do in Burnley is we're looking at the place as a whole. So we're not interested in delivery projects. We're looking at the place and its strengths. So going back to last year, as we were coming out of all the restrictions in terms of COVID, we got together with other people, other organisations in Burnley to bring something called Beat the Street to Burnley. So in September and October last year, Burnley hosted Beat the Street. And that covered the whole town. And over 10,500 people took part in Beat the Street over 6 weeks, and it encouraged people to get outdoors, to cycle, to walk to school, to walk to work, to collect points for their schools, for their businesses, and it's all part of a big game really for 6 weeks. So there were thousands of miles travelled during Beat the Street last year, and what we discovered as a result of that was the energy, the enthusiasm and the enjoyment that people got by taking part in Beat the Street. New groups were formed, new relationships were formed. We had groups, mums and dads walking their children to school, formed a little group to collect points every day, and people got quite competitive. So as a result of Beat the Street, we got people together and we formed this thing called the Active Burnley Forum. The Active Burnley Forum is really just a continuation of the steering group that we have for Beat the Street. But we realised that because Beat the Street was so simple and it was outdoors and it encouraged people to explore their town, that's probably something that we should be focusing on. So the impact of Beat the Street has really led us to where we are now. The Active Burn Forum and this idea of using the place itself to encourage people to be more active. And what we want to do is to prepare the place for people to be more active, so that being active is the easy choice. And it's so what we're trying to promote is this theme, if you will, of Burnley being an outdoor town. And the reason for that is that nobody owns the outdoors. It's on our doorsteps. It could be where you live, it could be the park, it could be the canal towpath. Everybody has access to it, and the outdoors can be whatever you want and wherever you want. So if we, collectively as a place, if we can encourage people to think about Burnley as being an outdoor town and promote all the strengths that we have in Burnley, such as the parks, the countryside, the canal towpath, everything that's available free of charge for people, then we should be on the right tracks. And that's the very simple concept that we're working on. And to be fair, we're right at the start of this outdoor town journey. But over the next few years, anybody involved in either physical activity or sport or whatever, or health, will become more aware of this outdoor town theme, because that is what we're going to be promoting. So moving on, in terms of, the workshop that we're here today is the second of 3 initial workshops. So last week we had a workshop around water-based activities down at the boathouse there. Today we're talking about walking and cycling, and then we have another workshop coming up next week. These workshops all feed into the Active Burnley Forum. So the Active Burnley, I don't want to get too complicated, but the Active Burnley Forum only gets together twice a year. And we've done that purposely because people have so many things, so many meetings and things to attend. So it will only be twice a year. It's very informal, and it's designed to get people together just to discuss current things in terms of outdoor town and being active in Burnley. So finally from me, before we move on, I just want to make you aware of the 3 areas within the Active Burnley theme, really. So we've got the Active Burnley Forum, but then we've got the Active Burnley Awards. Now the Active Burnley Awards were formerly the Burnley Sports Awards. They've been going for years and years. But we've renamed that Active Burnley because we want everything to be recognised under Active Burnley. So the Active Burnley Awards, that's the reward and recognition mechanism for people in the town who are going above and beyond to encourage people to be active. And that could be clubs, it could be groups, it could be individuals. So that happens every year. So watch out for that as well. And then the Active Burnley strategy, there's an opportunity next year to launch the new Active Burnley strategy, which will be a 5-year strategy, which really will set out the outdoor town theme and all the actions that will take place or plan to take place over the next 5 years. So the Active Burnley strategy will go beyond the period of Together and Active Future that we're working on. So really that is I suppose that's the sustainability, the long-term plan really for Together and Active Future. One more announcement from me. Next year we will be bringing back Beat Street. So Beat Street version 2 for Burnley will be around about April, May next year. And that we're not going to do it exactly the same. We're going to develop it next year. So hopefully next year we'll have additional things involved in Beat Street around the environment, around hopefully tree planting, and really giving people the ability to invest in their neighbourhoods and make Burnley the best place it can be for people. And that again is about sustainability and long-term impact of a significant investment into the town. Okay, so that's it from me. Does anybody have any questions?